Okay, the first tip is for anyone who rounds corners. If we take these two and we round them both like that, you'll probably notice that it doesn't look really good because they're both being rounded at the same radius, but they need to be rounded differently. So a really quick and easy way of doing this is by rounding the outside corner first, drag this part to exactly where this corner starts, then select both corners again and continue. And that way you have a much cleaner way of rounding your corners compared to that. So round the outside first, then round the bottom part here. Really nice and clean. The second thing is making a grid in Illustrator easily. All you need to do is just drag out a square. So I'm holding shift, drag one out, switch this from a fill to a stroke. I'm going to go up to object. We're going to go down to path and split into grid, and we'll get this box that appears. I'm going to put 4 and 4 just to keep it even. You can preview this if you want. You can add 5 or 6 or whatever, but I'm going to do 4 and 4. We've now got a grid which are separated squares like so. What we can do is we can actually just highlight this and press Command 5, which will turn them into guides, and we can turn them off and on by pressing Command and colon, which means that we can create cool looking logos, something like this, where we can just create easy logos. Maybe we do what people do to make them really look really nice, outline this stroke here, and then, you know, do something like this. We've got an easy grid to create cool logos. Okay, now that we've got a logo, let's say you want to create clear space around this and you don't know how to do it. Well, normally what I do is, if it's in a grid, and even if it's not, I'll just take a part of this shape. So I'm just making a full square so I get the top down of this. Change this color to red so we can see it. Now, clear space generally is where we go to the top parts, the bottom parts of the logo, and we create a force field around it like so. And that's been created right there. It looks a bit odd, but watch this. If I go over to outside of the artboard, let's go ahead and create a new artboard just like so. Highlight this shape again with all the logos. Go to object. We're going to go to artboards. We're going to fit to selected art. Boom. We've got an artboard that has been fitted to the selected art. And when you export this by pressing Command, Option and E, you can export this entire artboard, and it has the clear space values already in the image, making it a lot easier for clients to just drag and drop it into their work. That's a really easy way of giving your clients clear space without having to explain it to them. So let's say we've got a logo like this lion one that we've created and we want to invert it. A lot of designers would generally just take this logo, they might just copy it, and they might just go ahead and make it white. The only problem with this is that the logo doesn't look correct, because where the white space is shouldn't be white at all. So how do we fix this? Well, instead of just changing the color, what you have to do is create it so the logo is able to be made opposite, if that makes sense. Here I've added a little belly here for this little lion there, and I've cut the tail off. What I'm going to do is make sure that this belly part is outlined in the stroke, unite it all together. I'm going to select the entire object, press Shift and M, or go to the shape builder tool, and we're just going to fill in each part of the lion like so. Easy. Then what we do is, for the outside part, the bit that was black before, we're going to delete that. And with a bit of editing, we get a much better representation of what the lion should be in negative space. And with a bit of moving magic, you can notice that the lion now has the proper inversion, so it looks correct. It's not just a white logo, but it looks correct on a black background as well on a white background. Okay, we have this document here with so many artboards, and what we can do is press Shift and O and move them around and essentially just drag them into places where we want them to be. But there's a much easier way. If you go up to Window and down to Artboards, you can press this little button on the left, Rearrange Artboards, and we have this little box that pops up. We can choose the layout of the artboards. We can choose how many columns we want. Let's say we want 3 columns and we want 10 centimeter spacing each. Press OK and it will create that for you. This is similar to how we created the minimalist guidelines, like you can see here, where every single artboard is pristinely laid out like so. And if you want to download the Ultimate Logo Presentation Kit, I'll leave a link in the description for you to go and check that out. One thing that every graphic designer or even creative professional needs is a website. It doesn't matter if you're big or small, get yourself a website. Recently, we've been working on our brand new one, and we've moved to a platform called Framer, who is sponsoring this video. Framer allows you as a graphic designer to not know any code, but to design websites like this. It's mind-blowing what you can do inside of Framer. More so than that, you can fully customize it to be whatever you want. You don't have to learn that much, and to be honest, they have some amazing tutorials on their website. And also, if you just want to take a template, you can go and find a community template that you can get for free, or there are paid versions of the template, and you can edit it from there, giving you a bit of a head start. These beautiful websites with all these animations and interactions that you're seeing were all created without code, perfect for graphic designers like me and you who aren't web developing wizards. I've been learning how to use Framer over the past few weeks, and I'm really excited to share a video soon about our new website once it's built. And I'm also excited to share some tutorials soon that will help you in your Framer journey for designing your first website. If you want to check them out for completely free and start building your website free today with no coding or anything, please click the link down below in the description. It helps me out and it keeps these videos going live to you. Thank you, Framer, for sponsoring the video. For a long time, when we create guidelines or when we have a presentation, we can't actually find all of the color information here like this. This is like wood smoke, and it's got the RGB, the HCSL, CMYK, the Pantone. It's not in there, and we can't find it in Illustrator. In fact, most of the time what we have to do is click this and find the color. Let me just click this. And we have to kind of copy and paste all of this information. It gets a bit silly. Well, recently, Adobe Illustrator made it really quick and easy for you to grab all the color profiles that you need in literally like 2 clicks. So what you do is you go to your swatches panel, click on the group of colors, or shift click, selected colors like so. I'm going to click these 4 here. We're going to go to this right hamburger icon, and we're going to go scroll down until we find create swatch info. We get this little box. You can like mess around with it if you want. You do change the stacking and everything, and press create, and boom, just like so, it has created us literal swatch infos. All of this is there now, perfectly laid out as well for our branding kit that we create. Because of this, I've probably shaved off like 10 years of my life. Might be a slight exaggeration, but it's certainly shaved off a lot of time. And one more feature that I think is really important for people to know about is editing similar shapes. You see here, I've got a bunch of castles in different like colors and in different ways. It's all a bit crazy at the moment, but let's say I don't like this certain part up at the top here. So I'm going to select both of these, and if I wanted to edit them around the corners up at the top there, it's not going to change all these other ones, which is a bit annoying. I'd have to go ahead and do it all again. Now if we select these shapes here, like these 2 anchor points, we get this little box up here that says start editing similar shapes together. Well, when you press this and you start editing this shape, doesn't matter what you do, like go crazy with it, it will edit the shape all the way across the whole document. So it doesn't matter what artboard you're in, it will edit this shape. Now that just saves you a lot of time when having to create loads of revisions. If you enjoyed this video, then please press the subscribe button down below. Thank you again to Framer for sponsoring this video, and I'll catch you in the next video.